Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Justin Young. He's Junard Hartley. Welcome to the Fast Break here on Thursday. We're in the middle of April, man. This is a weird weekend. Usually we're talking about where college coaches are going to go watch a live period. And even for Hoopsie, this is a rare week. We don't even have an event on the calendar, Junard Hartley. So to that end, if I ask you how you're doing, if you're not saying great, then, man, we're doing something wrong. How are you?
I am doing great. But all seriousness, man, it's been great to kind of catch our breath for the last couple of weekends. We've been having back-to-back events, some going on the same time. So there's been a whirlwind a little bit this spring, but I'm excited.
I am too. We've had an unbelievable spring. We just had a great weekend in Memphis. We've had a phenomenal Georgia Cup back at Swanee. Coming up next weekend, we're going to be in Louisville. We're going to be back at Swanee for another Georgia Cup. And, of course, we've got the Florida Cup going on down in the Tampa area. So we got a full slate next weekend on the Hoopsing calendar. But, you brought it up. It is an interesting time in 2024 because for the first time ever, we've got a live period. Well, I don't know if it's ever, but for the first time, and as long as I've been in this industry, we've got a live period that has been pushed back. We only have one weekend, May 17th through the 19th. That's for all levels of college basketball. Division I coaches particularly can get out there for the first time. And the reason why, the portal's open. The portal is open. We've heard this word time and time again, this portal thing. But we've talked about it back in the wintertime. We had a great conversation. We kind of want to revisit that and talk about some stuff. So, just for a little background, explain right now, if for those that maybe don't know, if you're a first-time travel coach or just kind of, if you can, explain a little bit about what if you hear the word portal, what exactly does that mean in the landscape of today's modern basketball recruiting? That's actually probably a heavy question to ask.
Well, let's tackle it. It's today's new norm, right? You got college teams that are trying to stay older, that are recruiting players that have some level of college experience already, that they don't have to teach certain details and nuances that they would have to a younger kid. So ultimately what happens is you prioritize these older kids first, and hence goes the transfer portal. Not to go in the weeds of that, but that prioritize older kids. In our platform, we serve amateurs and grassroots teams. So for us, we want to make sure that we pivot and bring the attention that the portal is over May 1st. And with that closing, we want to prepare ourselves for these live period events coming up.
Yeah, May 1st is really the thing that's put the circle. Even last 2 years, we were both out on the weekends where we had 2 live periods and some events that were tremendous events that even our own Atlanta gym, we saw like a decline because guys are spending more time either with their own teams trying to recruit their guys to stay on campus or working in the transfer portal to get guys to come on campus. It was just too much to manage, too many things that required its own dedicated time on the calendar. The minute they changed the schedule, I think I was one of the few people, I think all of us at Hoops were like, this is actually great for guys because if you're a high school guy, like it actually gives you a chance to have the most eyeballs on you, which ultimately that's what recruiting has been, really built upon, is them to really help. I think it's designed because they want you, if you're good enough to go play in college, that they want that to happen. I feel like this shift in the calendar allows that to do that. One thing that we talked about last time we had this discussion back in the wintertime, and I thought you brought up a great point, that the new calendar allows teams to do what we've already seen. They've already played at the Tennessee Jam. They've already played at the Hoop Scene Tip-Off. They've already gotten, another like a regional type event under their belt. Adidas just had a weekend for themselves last weekend in Nebraska. You talked about there was a benefit there, and why do you feel like maybe this extra time could be beneficial?
This extra time is beneficial so our grassroots teams can develop their roster, and there could be a lot of good basketball being played. A lot of times these teams are thrown together, rushed without practice, and then all of a sudden you got a live period event, and you're playing in front of coaches and you're being evaluated. And that, in my opinion, that doesn't put these kids in the best light. So with the calendar being pushed further back allows, more team unity, more chemistry amongst players. You know what to expect from guys on the floor, and you could play to your strengths and not look, and look your absolute best with teammates that are also trying to do the same thing and have the same objective. So
yeah, we're seeing teams now stack up some continuity, right? And like understanding like what our best lineups are, and I actually didn't know that guy could shoot the ball like that. Or man, we got a kid that tried out for us that we weren't familiar, that's like an unbelievable offensive rebounder. And like, you're really getting a chance to develop your team to put your best foot forward when May 17th comes around. We still have a long runway. I mean, what is even today's date? Today's the 18th. So we're literally a month away from the live period. And I think that's going to be really important for guys to be your best version. I still can't believe the old schedule. And I never even thought about it until you mentioned it. Like how short of a runway that is to throw a team together and hope that you're at your very best, that you can perform in a manner that could impact the rest of your life, right?
Run that play. Go run that play next week.
Yeah, what's it called? Horns. I mean, just some sort of version of some simple play, right? You know?
Yeah.
So I hope that teams are getting that run in and that experience. And on top of that, one thing I love about our schedule, and to credit to other event operators, there seems to be a geographical balance where you're not playing like you're not worn out by the time May 17th comes around. You're getting a chance where, you know what, we're going to go play this weekend, maybe get back and practice next weekend and do that 2 weekends in a row and go compete again. Like you've got a good flow. You got a good rhythm kind of going into that May 17th, you know, that target date coming around the corner, you know?
Absolutely. I think that some of our operators have kind of seen that kind of hit their numbers a little bit with teams kind of maybe starting a little later with the calendar shifter. But we completely understand that, and you can see the roll in coming as we get closer to May, and it's like, okay, teams are taking the time to get better and getting it right, and players are actually investigating what squads to be a part of, and not just following their friends, and it filters out a lot of mess that can ultimately wave a kid's future into balance.
Yeah. I like, you're just talking, it got me excited thinking about Bob Gibbons, which is now May 17th to the 12th, where that's like the perfect, like kind of preseason tournament, right? Which is weird to say that for May 10th, but Gibbons, we know there's a different competitiveness it's the oldest, it's the most historic travel tournament there is still in the game, as we've seen this travel, landscape. Did you play in it, right? When you were
Absolutely.
So Junard Hartley, 15-year-old playing for the Atlanta Celtics, going to the tournament of champions. Like, I remember those days. Now you make me feel old, bro. But like those are important events because it definitely got you ready for what was around the corner in July, right? And now we're going from one weekend to the next weekend, it's go time.
An event like Bob Gibbons, it definitely revs your engine up because you got to get ready for that level of competition. You talking about the array of shoe teams, the high-level independent teams you never heard of, and then the surprises that just pop up from in and out of the country, out in Canada. So there's a lot of unknown high-level basketball that kind of just hits you in your face right there in Bob Gibbons.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think the calendar is so healthy now. Like, I'm really grateful for it because now what does it do? It puts us May into June, Scholastic, and then into July, which really kind of goes bang, bang, bang. It's like really, really strong. So listen, if you're thinking about like, okay, well, if you're still trying to make plans, trying to figure out where you're going to, go to hoopscene.com/events. Go check out our events, what we've got coming up. We've got stuff. But our live period event is going to be the Atlanta Jam. It's been our live period event in the spring since we started the Atlanta Jam now 9 years ago, maybe.
Getting up there in age.
Yeah, it's getting up there. But we're doing something different this year for the Atlanta Jam. And hold on. I'm going to bury the lead a little bit more because our goal has always been able to help guys go to college, right? We're eliminating hopefully a big barrier for that, where the majority of basketball is non-Division I. Okay, the majority of basketball is non-Division I. You got Division II, Division III, NAIA, junior college. We're waiving the fee for college coaches, not just one college, but your entire staff. Okay, come to the Atlanta Jam. It's on us. We want you to be there on the sidelines and the baselines because we have a lot of great teams of players that are going to fit that caliber. We've waived the fee for that. Come out there. Come sit there. Come evaluate. Go find you a player, whether you're a school, even outside the area of the South. We get it. Most of our teams are from the Deep South, the Mid-South. If you're like, we've already had schools from the Plains, from the Northeast, from Texas, already like, okay, that's awesome. I think that's something that we're going to want to go. I talked to a team from out here in the West. They're like, you know what? I think we're going to make that trip on part of our live period attack to come out there. So, and if you're a travel team, our goal for doing that was to get as many coaches as we could in the building for you, because we get your plight as a travel coach. You want your teams to come play. I know I'm talking and talking and talking. I'm just so hyped, Junard. I just can't believe that's something that we want to go do. But talk to me a little bit more about some of our motivations. This is something that we've actually been talking about for quite a while too.
Yeah, absolutely. First for me, you can kind of look at the game of basketball from a generational standpoint. We're starting to, these levels are getting recalibrated. And
Yeah.
so what used to be Division One, i.e. me, would basically be a high level Division Two guard. So it's like understanding the recalibration of what's going on in basketball today. You have to respect the recruiting that comes along with it. You say it all the time. I even heard it when I was a kid. You are the level that recruits you. It's just really that simple. And so it's like,
Was I that wise when you were that young? I don't think I was. I didn't give me too much credit.
You were wise beyond your years, man. And it's a real statement. It's a real statement. You are who recruits you. And so when that's the case right now, when you have high level college staff that are prioritizing these older kids, then we have to transition to get these kids in better situations to be successful long term. Yeah. And a lot of times that's taking the opportunities that's in front of you, and that's understanding how to develop and create more opportunities around you. And in my opinion, this is just another way. I think that having the non-D1s in the building for free, it prioritizes them. It lets them know, hey, look, we have a group of kids that you guys might want to see first, and before the Division One start, chopping at your bits. It's definitely a great opportunity to get ahead of the curve as a college assistant at those levels, and you get to familiarize yourself with these kids and this talent way sooner than the Division Ones are even paying them attention.
I think the portal also, I hate the word sleeper and expose. I hate those words. I think they're cheat words. But I do think that there are guys out there, particularly in that calendar weekend, that really are gonna come about. And again, for non-Division ones especially, and we've seen so many great players, even from last year, that played with us. Like a lot of our All HSA guys are going to non-Division one spots that are having instant impacts. I was talking to some coaches about this. Earlier today, about how hard it is to play as a freshman right now in Division I basketball. It's really challenging. Some of these other places, junior college has always been a great. But if you want to play right away, go play right away at the junior college level. There's nothing wrong with that. Being on the court, there's a lot more value there than there is. And listen, both situations pose positives, but as a competitor, you want to be on the floor.
Take a step further. You can't get better sitting down.
Yeah.
You can only. I know coaches, they say it all. You got to be in the game to grow in the game, in my opinion. So if you're going to turn on an opportunity to get better and playing experience to go sit down and hope that you grow in that role, history tells us that doesn't really work out that way.
Yeah. So I think with the live period being May 17th through the 19th, if you're now in Division I school, book that trip to Atlanta, man, because there's a lot of stuff too just within the region, not just us. Like, I want to be really clear. I'm a big believer in going to places that you can go find guys. That could be with us. That could be one of our competitors. Go out there. There's great players everywhere, but make sure that you plan it and hopefully you find enough time in your calendar that you can say, okay, I can get a day here. I can get a day here. I can get a day here. Mm-hmm. We just want to make it easy for you. We waived it. We're going to get you a packet. We want to put you on the sidelines and baselines, go find some dudes and go do that. If you're a travel coach, please keep in mind, if you have guys that are class of 2024 that are still looking for opportunity, what an unbelievable chance to bring them to this event. We want you to have a team that has guys that are that really truly are going to be guys that want to play in college, number one. Not just because you're a guy that's a senior that doesn't have a spot, a guy that wants to go play. Like, let's be serious about this, okay? Like, at that point, I hate saying the word unsigned senior, like, especially like I always joke, we joke internally that you're no longer an unsigned senior when you're no longer a senior when you graduate. Like, a lot of guys graduating like right after, the week after. So that's like you're literally probably the last time you can say you're an unsigned senior, because when you graduate, you're no longer a senior, you're a graduate. Anyways, that's my own pet peeve. But like, if you're a guy that's still looking for an opportunity, that's a 24 kid, come out there, travel coaches, we have no problem with you having guys on your roster, okay? And we're going to make sure that we match you up, hopefully, with other teams with like-minded stuff. We'll see your rosters, or please tell us that you have a team that's unsigned seniors, so maybe we can pin you with another team of unsigned seniors, because guess what? College coaches are probably going to go to that game. If they're a junior college or non-Division I, they want to see some guys and fill their roster up. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited that we're going to offer that up for coaches. And hopefully we have a lot of people that get a chance to benefit from that moving forward. Now, I got to ask you this, Junard. With that being said, with May, forgive me, I think we have a couple of events down for, I think, after that. But really, you got, travel teams will take a pause. Scholastic stuff fires up in June. And man, we're right back at it in July. Explain to me give everybody a quick insight to what our July calendar looks like.
So when we get back in July, man, it's straight into Best of the South. Best of the South is going to be July 10th through the 12th that weekend. Hopefully the NCAA gives us a little early day to play with on Thursday. So we're holding our breath for it. But immediately after that weekend, we're giving teams an option in between Florida Jam and our Virginia Beach grassroots finale. Yeah. And so those two events, we actually want to cater to two different regions and two different audiences at the same time. We love our relationship with Hoop Group on the grassroots finale in Virginia Beach. That has been amazing, and it has been very beneficial for both groups and all the kids involved. I mean, the college coaches have been amazing. They packed out the facility all the time, and it's been a really, really great treat. And so we also want to help our teams be a little cost effective as well. Which is why we're offering the opportunity in Florida Jam. So I know that trip for our teams down south in Florida and even Alabama, that's tough getting them all the way to the coast. So we want to definitely make sure that we service both sides, both regions, and make sure that you're getting high quality basketball with coaches coming to watch.
Jeff Foss, our friend that runs our Hoops in Florida division down there, when he was running the Conrad P. Foss Memorial in honor of his father, who, for me, I love, was a huge mentor for me and a guy that really helped me out a lot when I was coming up. Excuse me. We sent Garrett Tucker down there to cover it. And I love Garrett because Garrett's never high, he's never low. He's just like such a great personality. And he called me. He was so excited about the potential down there at the Wiregrass Sports Complex. He's like, JY, this is going to be I don't even want to try to impersonate Garrett's voice. I wouldn't do it justice. Garrett, you've got the best voice. He was so excited about the layout, and he's right. And I do think that that's something that I'm excited about. I think the Florida Jam, as we saw for the Tennessee Jam, the bones were laid for what's going to be a great event, not just now, but down the road for us as we, Bama Jam was that way, Atlanta Jam was that way, and they've grown now into no-brainer things on schedules. I'm really excited about Florida Jam for our second live period. And then, of course, the grassroots finale. You can also go up there, finish at the beach, compete against the Hoop Group. But, man, we got to talk about this. We do have a change on the calendar, man. We're not in downtown this year. Downtown Atlanta is out for 2024, which, listen, you and I both are Cobb County guys, man. We both have time in Marietta.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? It's a double-edged sword in a good way. And here's why. We kind of catered a little bit to our audience and our teams in regards of the parking downtown and navigating through the city whenever there's an event going on. I mean, it's still Atlanta. So cutting down on the traffic. Just kind of, we feel like that'll be a better experience for someone that's not from the area, from the South, and really knows how congested that area can really be. And I think, Cobb Parkway is going to be just as full of things to do. You got the Brave Stadium right there, the new one. You got plenty of eatery in the mall. So I think that it's just a slower pace than being straight down in the heart of the city. Yeah, I think everybody be covered.
We'll be at the Cobb Galleria Center right there where 285 and 75 meet in Atlanta. If you're familiar with that, like you said, it's right next to where the Braves play. There's a whole entertainment district there. We're going to have not as many courts under the same roof there at the Cobb Galleria as we did in downtown Atlanta, which is okay, but we're going to be in that surrounding area as well. We still want this to be the most important stage for you in the summertime. We're fired up about it. It's a new place to be. I actually stopped in there. We had some meetings in Atlanta. When was that? I guess it was back in February. I guess it was.
Yeah, late February.
there was another event going on over, not a sports event, just like a conference or something. And I spent 3 or 4 hours just down there, just checking it all out. And I was fired up, man, because I think we can have a really fun experience there. It'll be a nice change of pace for a lot of teams that have already been coming to downtown with us for the last since 2000. When did we start there? 2019 down in downtown. So we'll be at the Cobb Galleria for the Best of the South. Like you said, you got the Battery. Go to Google, man. Punch in the Battery, Marietta, Georgia. Go see what's around there. Tons of stuff. They got a great music venue. So if you want to go see some music, your mom and dad, you're trying to get away from your son because he's driving you crazy because he wants more money for Gatorade.
Yeah.
Your boy's just driving you crazy, and I know that's how I'm going to be as a parent. Or I am as a parent, so I get it. There's all kinds of stuff to do. There's great food. Shout out Antico Pizza. You and I get it. We've been there. We love it. We put it out of business because we eat all the food. But there's so much to do down there that I'm really excited about what we've got going on. We may actually have some stuff too that we'll see how it goes to the Atlanta Jam with what we're doing for coaches, and maybe we need to revisit that for some of our other stuff that we've got coming up this summertime too. Coming up. So let's reset real quick, Junard. We've talked a little bit about this. We've got the Atlanta Jam, which is coming up May 17th to the 19th. No Division I or non-Division I schools. There's no charge. Come out there, circle the dates. If you're a travel team, Junard, what advice would you give them right now, a month away, to get ready for the Atlanta Jam?
A month away, I would play in recruitable events right now. Play against the competition that you want to see in May. And what that'll do is that'll align you to have some good performances with a good audience. And I would also try to finalize my rosters before going into the month of May as well. I think when you do that, you'll definitely put yourself in a good situation.
How do they register? Do you have any suggestions, or what can they do if they have questions or need help?
So if you want to register, you can register online, hoopscene.com/events, and you can scroll through the events and find which one in particular that we spoke on today about. And then afterwards, there'll be actions prompting for you to do each and every direction in getting your team in the event. And so if you have any issues with the New Player First platform, feel free to give myself a call at 470-266-8862, and I'll be able to kind of either get you to somebody to help you directly, or I'll be able to help you myself.
I love it. If you have a question, drop a DM, let us know. We want to help you get there and get you signed up. We want to work with your team and really help put your guys in a position to allow them to be in a spot to hopefully earn a scholarship. I mean, that's ultimately, it is the reason why we do what we do for the high school age guys, right? For the guys that are going to be graduates for the class of 2025 and 26 for that matter. But we want to make sure we're putting your guys in a place that they can be successful. That's what we're all about here at Hoops. Always has been, always will be. And excited to see what 2024 lends. So we got 1 month, man. We got a lot of work to do. But until then, we got this weekend off. We're back at it again. We're going to be in Louisville. We're going to be in Atlanta. We're going to be in Tampa. And then we're back at it. I'm excited to see you for the Bob Gibbons. I'm going to be there for, I think, my, 39th time in my life. I've been there a lot. And then I'll be back again the week after for the Atlanta Jam. So I'm excited to hang out with you guys, our team. We love our teams. We appreciate everything that you guys do. We appreciate you guys rolling with us for as long as you have. And for Junard Hartley, I'm Justin Young. We will see y'all in the gym. Take care.
See y'all in the gym, man. Have a good one.